It's official, like a referee with a whistle. So like and share this episode. So today I'm gonna talk about how I choose certain types of women. Because there's a lot of guys that they want a girlfriend and they want and P.S. there's guys that still are getting married. People are still getting married out here, regardless of how bad you might think it is or how bad your experience might have been, or even how you might not have no interest in getting married at all, ever. But people are always going to get married out here, bro. Regardless of, you can say, well, I don't want the state getting involved. I don't want to get married. I don't want to do no paperwork to get involved with the state. You don't have to do it that way. But regardless of how you decide to get married, whether it's through your religion, the church, or some contract y'all made up together, regardless of how you do it, there's men, there are going to always be men that want to be with women. Period. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know about you, I like women. I mean, that's just what it is. I don't like men. I don't want to be with a man. Shit. You know what I'm saying? The alternative, there is no alternative when it comes to women. In my opinion. Unless you know something I don't know. I don't want to be with a robot. I don't want to be with another man. And I don't want to be no weirdo. So I like women. Period. So let's just get that clear before I get into what I really want to get into. Now, there's certain types of women. All women are not created the same. Unfortunately, we don't get to pick who our parents is. And we don't get to pick where we grow up at as kids. That's not our fault. It is what it is. We didn't have nothing to do with being born. We just happened to come out the womb of our parent, of our mom, with the help of our dad. That's what it is. But I've lived long enough to figure out a lot of things. That's the difference between me and a younger guy. A guy that's in his 20s, he only knows but so much. You know what I'm saying? If you're 21 years old, 25, how much do you really know about life? You know what I mean? There's a lot of people today that I know and that you know. If you really listen to them, they don't really know how things really work in this world that we live in. There's some people that are bumbling and stumbling and they don't even really know how they made it to where they made it at. They're just bumbling and stumbling and knocking their head up against the wall, and they might get a little hookup here and there, or the parents might bail them out, or they might get little goodies based on their religion, their nationality, or their race, or it's a bunch of people out here like that. But if you really get to know them, you be like, how the hell you made it here? You just as clueless. You don't really know. I mean, it's like, damn. So you have to understand. Look, at some point, you can get all the hookups you want, but at some point, you're gonna have to live your own life. You're gonna have to think for yourself for a change. Your parents can't help you think. Your parents can't help you choose the woman you want. Well, if they hook you up, okay, all right, whatever. But let's say you do get hooked up with some woman. by your parents. You might not like her. So now what? Do you go along? Do you be with a woman just because your parents want you to be with her and be unhappy? Okay, knock yourself out. If that's your culture or your religion or whatever y'all practice in your family, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do it, but hey, there's some people that live like that. But there's some women that they're not wife material. You have to understand this. There's just some women that's like, they weren't raised for that. They weren't built for that. Right? And see, like, take a woman like Cardi B. She ain't for think about it. What man in his right mind would marry her and have kids with her? I mean, okay, you can lay up with her or have fun do whatever you want. And then even that's taking a chance. You know, but what guy in his right mind would get married to somebody like her? I mean, you have to know that this is not going to end well. You know what I'm saying? There's some women I can go online and just follow them for a couple days, and I'd be like, no, she ain't the type that I would want to even take seriously. Yeah, I'll talk to her. Yeah, I'll hang. I mean, I might hang out. I don't know. It depends on how I'm feeling or where I'm at. But there's some women. It's like you just have to know that this is not going to end well. Because see, they don't have the skills. They don't have the skills. They wasn't raised to be married. That's just what it is. There's some women weren't raised to, be married. And the funny thing is, when you get with a woman, she has to have it. When I say get what I'm talking about, the spend a lot of time with her, invest with her, start a family with her, get married, etc. Right? Whether you're a man or a woman, the person you get with, they have to have it. That thing, that it thing, you can call it what you want to call it. You can call it mojo, it factor, X factor, whatever. You can call it what you want to call it. That person, if you're going to stay, this is just me. If I'm going to stay around this person for a long period of time, over the weekend, for months, take vacations together, live together, get married together, make plans and all this, they got to have that thing. That it factor, that X factor, that mojo. It's a little deeper than all of that, but they got to have that thing in them. And you can't teach that. You can't give that to them. They got to have it. Let's take sports, for example. There's certain players, you see them, whether you look at basketball, football, baseball, whatever, right? Whatever sport. There's certain players are average, some below average. There's good players, and then there's great players. Now, what's the difference between a good player and a great player? It's that great player got that thing in them. They got that that spirit in them. You call it what you want to call it. It's much deeper than that. It's much, that's a video for another day. You know what I'm saying? But they got to have that. And you know why they got to have that? Because in this life, things are not going to be perfect. Things are not going to end up being perfect. A lot of things are not going to end up go as planned. So this person they're going to have that thing in them for the long haul, to play the long game. That's the difference between a good player and a great player as far as athletes. And this applies to this applies to people that aren't athletes. Athletes are just people. They're not superhuman. They're just people that found something that they love to do, but they were already that type of person even before they got into damn sport. All the coach did is just took who that person was, and whatever that thing is in them, help him be much more. Build on what that thing is and keep that thing going. Because you can lose that thing. You can lose that it factor, that X factor. You can lose it. But it probably won't happen. But when a new player comes in the NFL, the coaches can't really teach him how to play cornerback, or how to play running back, or how to play wide receiver. Yeah, they can give him little X's and O's and tell him how to run the routes. But they can't really, you gotta learn that shit on your own. Yeah, they can put up the shit on the board and give you paper, the playbook, but you gotta really do it on your own. Repetition, over and over, do it over and over and over and over again. Coaches can't really help you with that. They can't really help you with that. You gotta have that thing in you. Now, some people will say the dog mentality, the mamba mentality. You can call it whatever you want to call it. Whatever that thing is, you got to have it. That's the difference between the great people and the good people and everybody else. That's the difference between the people that stick out and the people that don't. And unfortunately, most people don't have that thing in them. A very small group of people got that thing in them. And they shine like a diamond. They stick out. And these are the people that we want to be around. These are the people that we want to start families with. We want to do things with. We want to spend most of our time with. These are the people that make a difference in other people's lives, their family. You know what I'm saying? That because there's something different about them. It ain't just about how they look. Yeah, they might look good, great. But, most of the people the women you meet ain't gonna have that thing in them. Now see online, even in the mainstream media, there are a lot of people that are pretending to have that thing in them. Because what happens online and with the celebrities, they are manufactured. These are corporate manufactured characters. That's what you have. Like somebody like Deion Sanders, he wasn't manufactured. He ain't corporate. What you see when it comes to Deion Sanders, that's who he is. That's who he is. He ain't making up nothing. I know plenty of people that's like Deion Sanders. I've been plenty of them. You know, this is not something that they can't take nothing away from Deion Sanders. You know why? Because nobody gave him anything. Nobody ever gave him. You can't. I hear a lot of people say they I guess they're gonna I think silence people or feel, you know, or God, I forgot how they say it, man. You know, but you can't take something away from somebody if you never gave me anything, or if you never gave him anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's impossible, you know, because that person is not corporate. That person didn't have, nobody gave him millions of dollars. Nobody put no money behind him to promote him or her. You know, so if you happen to be somebody like that started online and you blow up with no corporate backing, how you gonna, I mean, what you gonna, what, you can't really say anything, you can't really do anything to this person. You can't really control this person because they never took no corporate money from the get-go. It's kind of like people that's in the music business. Some people started on the grassroots, and some people got the major record label deals, and they blew up. Now, the person that took the major deal, they're a creation. They're being marketed and advertised all over the place by the big corporate record labels that they sign with, right? But the person that started from the grassroots, they might have blew up too, but they have more freedom. They can say and do whatever they want for the most part. But you can't take nothing away from the person that started from the grassroots. You can't silence them like you can do with the corporate person. The corporate person, as soon as they say the wrong thing, they'll strip him down, take everything away, take all the sponsorship, everything gone. You know what I'm saying? So when you get with people, when you get with a woman, she got to have that thing in them. She got to have that thing in her. Whatever you want to call it. X Factor, Mojo, whatever you want to call it, bro. Most women don't have it. You gotta have the right spirit. That's how I determine if I want to spend time with this person. And no one can give you that. No one can give you that. That's something you have to have young. You can't develop that. At least I don't think so. You have to have that in you. Now, maybe you had it in you when you were younger, but you just didn't activate it. You know? Because people try to say, hey, everything can be developed. No, some things can't be developed. You know, if that was the case, every football player at every position would be the same. Every basketball player at every position would be the same. And we know that ain't true. There's some people have God-given talent, characteristics, and some don't. Some people, you can teach them, train them, show them how to do something all day long and they still won't get it. Because that thing ain't in them. It ain't in them. So this applies to the women you meet. You know, it applies to, and I'm not saying necessarily you got to get married to everybody. That's no. I'm saying these are the types of people that I spend most of my time around. That's what I'm saying. Everybody ain't built for relationships. And some people are for the streets. Now I know some people are gonna look at this video. What about the guys? Well, that's a video for another day. I ain't talking about guys too, but I'm talking about women because I like women. Like I said in the beginning, I like women. I like spending my time around women. I don't like spending time around a lot of guys. And that's some weirdo shit right there, in my opinion. You got guys today like spending time around a bunch of guys. Where do you do that shit at? I spend most of my time around women. You know what? That's some weirdo shit today that a lot of these guys got going on. You know, I don't want to spend most of my time around a bunch of guys. Yeah, I got buddies. Yeah, but I ain't never spent my time around a lot of dudes. If I go, like back in the day when me and my boys used to go places, you know, we used to run in packs. But the women were wherever we were going. Wherever we were going, the women were going to meet us there. They were going to be there. You know what I'm saying? And it was always going to be more women than guys. You know what I'm saying? That's how we roll. Today, I don't know what these dudes, I don't know what the hell people doing out here now. We got women running in packs with no man, and you got guys running in packs with no women. I'm like, there's some weirdo shit going on out here today. And everybody's cool, like they act like this is normal. So you got women laying up with other women and guys laying up with other men. I'm like, well, you weirdos. You know, I just don't know where things is going today. But I'm telling you, this is how I roll. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know about you. I do what works for me. I do what's been proven to work for me and most people that I know. And I've been living long enough to figure this shit out. And see, here's another thing that I figured out. The woman that's the freakiest and the one that gives you the best sex is probably not the woman that's gonna make the best wife. You know what I'm saying? She probably ain't gonna be the best wife for you. Now I don't know why that is, but I'm just telling you that's how it usually go. Usually the woman that's kind of conservative, she might not wear a bunch of makeup all the time. She might be just an average chick that work 9 to 5 job, 5 days a week. Weekend comes, she goes to the store, do what she got to do during the week, and Sunday she goes to church. And come Monday morning, she's doing the same thing over again. She might just be that type of girl. And her I guess she might be the type that her dream probably is to be a mother and to raise her kids and take care of her family and have a husband and be a wife. That might be the highlight of her life. That might be the only thing she really cares about. The job, to her, it really ain't that important. She worked the job just to pay bills. But if you give her the option to pick the family over the job, she'll let that job go in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? Because she was raised with the mindset of, I want to start a family, have a husband, and raise beautiful kids, and take care of my husband, and live happily ever after, and probably get a little house somewhere, and and help my husband do whatever to take care of the family, and to support him, and doing whatever. She ain't the freakiest. She probably don't dress like what you normally used to, especially what you see on Instagram. Most of the women on Instagram, majority of them are probably not going to make the best wives. They're just not. They just not really, based on my experience. The majority of women I see out and about, wherever, because a lot of people like going to the nightclubs and going to the bars, and these are not people that you want to take serious. I don't take. It's really hard for me to take people serious in a nightclub, a bar, in the casino, at the resorts. It's on Instagram. On OnlyFans, girls on X, Twitter. These girls don't make. They don't make no. They probably make horrible wives. But see, we want, most guys, including me at one point, especially when we're in our 20s, we want the girl that's gonna give us the bomb ass sex, and then we want to turn her into wifey. See, we want to turn Cardi B into wifey material, and see, that's a mistake. It just doesn't work like that. If you really think about it, I think it would be very difficult to be somebody like Cardi B with her personality and make a good wife. It just doesn't. That's too extreme. That's why it don't work. It takes a certain personality to want to be a wife, to want to have kids. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, I'll give you an example. I know a girl. Oh no, well, it's not a girl, but I know a woman that's 84 years old, right? And she got a granddaughter that's 42. And every time I see this woman, 84-year-old woman, she got that thing in her. Now, if your grandmother is 70 plus, you know what I'm talking about. They got that thing. Most of them got that thing in them. Right? Now, when I'm talking to her grandmother, it's like we instantly connect. And she's 84 years old. The shit we talking about, it's like I'm talking to this 84-year-old woman. Like, I've known her all my life, and I only met her 2 times, right? Now, if you compare this 84-year-old woman to this 42-year-old woman, they're like night and day. It's like she know what time it is. Grandma knows that her granddaughter, she knows they're not alike at all. They're the opposite. And I don't know if the 42-year-old will ever be like the 84-year-old. Because the 42-year-old, she ain't got that thing in her. She's trying to be the best she can be, but she ain't got that thing in her like her grandmother. Yeah, because the conversation that I'm having with grandma, her granddaughter is kind of listening like, man, she ain't really trying to hear none of that shit we were talking about. Now, we were having basically a friendly conversation about how she grew up and how I grew up and how I grew up. And some of the things her parents did with her when she would get sick is some of the same thing my grandparents did to me when I would get sick. And her granddaughter, she ain't trying to hit none of that shit. She's a city girl, and her mom kind of raised her half of the way, and then the grandma took over the rest of the way, whatever. But her based on what she said, her mom had that whole spirit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really trying to hit none of that shit. This is not the type of woman that you can get married to. You shouldn't. It's like, because the energy is going to be all over the place. One day it's like this, the next day it's like that. One day it's all good, the next day it ain't. They got that whole energy. It ain't going to work. They don't have the mental capacity that have to be in a long-term relationship. You're going to be around this person all day long. 7 days, not all day long, but at least 7 days a week. Mostly. I mean, unless you go out of town one weekend or some shit like that. But you're going to, at the end of the day, you're going to be spending a lot of time around this person. Can you coexist with somebody that was raised by a whore? Man, it's gonna be tough. She won't know how to act. Y'all always gonna be on a different page. She doing one thing, you doing one thing. And the worst part about it, she not even letting you know when she's doing something else. You know what I'm saying? You can't grow with somebody like that. If the person is making decisions on her own without letting you know, you know what I'm saying? The person is planning to cut you off without letting you know. They'll just stop talking to you and don't say anything. And change the phone number and change the email address and stop following you online. What type of shit is that? They don't even have the decency to tell you that they don't want to talk to you no more. They'll just cut you off and move on. What kind of selfishness is that? How do you can't be with nobody like that? You can't be with nobody like that. That person is they probably got some mental health issues, for sure. But they're mentally unstable. So I figured out to be with someone for the long term, they got to have that thing in them. Because this world is cruel. This world is cold. You gonna get tested. You and her. Y'all gonna get tested. Shit gonna happen. And y'all gonna have to deal with it. Y'all gonna have to figure it out. If she's the type that's gonna listen to her friends, that most of them are losers. Most of her friends, they don't know nothing but y'all. Well, they don't know nothing but you. They only know as much as she telling her about you. And most of her friends probably hoes anyway. Because most of the women you meet, they're gonna be kind of loose. I'm just being honest, especially in today's time. Now, some people say, well, how many bodies is too much, right? I got this question. This girl was like 25. She's like, okay, I'm 25, and I didn't slept with she said about 30 people. Well, that's too much. That's more than your age. That's too many people. What are you trying to do? That's too much. I mean, were you trying to run a race? Or win a race? Some shit like that? 30 bodies? You know, it's like, come on. So most of the women you're going to run into, they're kind of all over the place, especially if she went to college. You know, especially if she went to college, yeah, they say balls to the wall. You know, going to parties and shit. You know, most people that go to college, it's kind of a waste of time, to be honest. Because most of these universities are just party schools. They're not going there to learn. They go there to meet people and network. Okay, all right, whatever. You know. But if you're gonna tell me don't tell me going to universities is primarily for being educated. No, don't tell me that. I know better. I've been to college. I went to college. No, there's a whole nother world, different world going to these universities that most parents are clueless about. Most parents are clueless about. If most parents knew what their daughters and sons were doing at these universities, they would stop paying the bill. They would stop paying the bill if they really knew what their daughters and sons were doing. Especially the daughters. Getting trained ran on them and all kind of shit. Come on, man. You have to know all of this. Get to know all of this about the woman you decide to settle down with one day. And I'm not saying you're gonna like everything. The point is not to like everything. The point is, at least you know what you got. That's the whole point. At least you know what you got. And she got to have that thing in them. You're gonna find out certain things about a woman. You be like, damn, girl, you were wilding out there, wasn't you? You don't have to like everything about her. You don't have to like everything she did while she was growing up, just like you were growing up. I'm sure there's some things that I might find out about you I won't like. You don't have to like everything she did. You don't have to like everything about her. But you have to like the majority of things about her. And she have to have that thing in her. Otherwise, y'all not gonna make it. And that relationship is not gonna be able to sustain the crazy shit in this crazy, beautiful world that we live in. The game is cold out here. And nobody does anything by themselves out here. This is a team sport out here. So, you got winners and losers. And you got, a lot of wolves out here, a lot of culture vultures out here, a lot of robbers and scheming and scamming out here. But you gotta have a strong team. And if you got weak players on your team, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. It's like in sports, they'll say they got to have that dog in them, right? Right? That's what they say. That's true. And this goes in life too. They got to have that thing in them. That's what they're really talking about when they say that dog, that thing, that it factor, that thing that make people light up, that thing that make people want to follow you, that thing that make people feel you. That's what that dog means. That it's much deeper than just confidence. It started way before confidence. Confidence is just gasoline onto the fire. Yeah. So hey, hopefully this video helps you out when in regards to finding the girl you want to be with, get married and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And nobody told me this. When I was in my 20s, nobody ever told me what I just described to you in this video. Nobody ever told me this. I learned this shit on my own. And I learned this through just living life. You know what I'm saying? Just living life. And P.S. and by the way, like I said, most people, most women you meet ain't gonna have that thing in them. Ain't gonna have it. You know what I'm saying? And you can't, if they ain't got it, you can't help them. You can't help them. You know what I'm saying? Let's take Deion Sanders. I'm gonna end this video soon. Let's take Deion. There's nobody like Deion Sanders in college football. There's nobody like Deion Sanders in college football. You got some great coaches, but they ain't like Deion Sanders. He got that thing in him. And he only been in college football, 5 years? But he had that thing in him when he was a player. When he was an athlete, he had that thing in him. And you got people trying to sabotage him. So let's think about it like this. Let's say Deion Sanders got the support that he needed or wanted. Let's say nobody tried to sabotage him. How would things be at Colorado? Let's say there wasn't no obstacles. How would things be in Colorado compared to what it is now? Think about that. You know, because see, if you got that thing in you, you will be tested. People will challenge you. People will do things behind your back. They'll sabotage you. That's gonna happen. The world is cold out here. The game is cold. That's what it is. But there's nobody like Deion. There's nobody like Coach Prime. There's nobody like Prime Time. Nobody. Nobody in college football. Why do you think that is? You know why that is? Because they don't want nobody like Prime Time in college football coaching. They don't want those people around. You know why? Because people are insecure like that. They're insecure. And see, if you got that thing in you, that's going to have people showing their insecurities towards you. And they'll be uncomfortable. They ain't gonna want to be around you. They ain't gonna want to be around you. They're insecure. And that's another side of having that thing in you. That makes people insecure. And that's how you know you got that thing in you, because women ain't gonna stay around you. Because they're like, oh shit, I can't trick him. I can't do nothing to him. I mean, whatever I try ain't gonna work. You know? Because she knows, hey, if I stay around him long enough, he gonna take me over. He'll end up being the shot caller. So he'll use my own tricks against me. This is how she'll be thinking. This is how the woman will be thinking. That because she might have came through the door with bad intentions, but you flipped it. And she, go into a little spell and be like, oh, she might start falling for you, actually start liking you. And she don't even understand why. But it is what it is. So she'll have either two choices. Either she gonna leave or stay. But if she stays, she's gonna have to step her game up. Cause you ain't going down to her level. Or if she does choose to stay around you, it's gonna be very limited. Because she already know that you ain't gonna come down to her way of living, her way of thinking, her way of being. And she, in her mind, she said, oh, I can't upgrade to him, to how he's thinking. So if she do decide to come around you, it's gonna be limited. And that's how it is. Cause she know who you are. She might not be able to put it into words, but she know who you are. You got that thing in you. That's how you know you got that thing in you. When women start doing things they wouldn't normally do for other guys or other people. That's how you know you got that thing in you. And at the same time, that's how people show their insecurities. That's how they block you. You get blocked out. You can't get the job you want. You can't get the position you want. They create these obstacles to try to keep you out, to get in your way. That doesn't happen by accident. This is a manufacture. These are things that's been put in the way on purpose. That's how you not get the opportunities that you want. Even though everybody knows you the shit, you one of the best in your field, but you never rise to the top. Because these are things that's been put in front of you to make sure you don't get to the top. Make sure you don't get those opportunities. Because those things are manufactured, But having that thing in you, it ain't got nothing to do with being manufactured. That thing in you is natural, pure. It's pure. And everybody knows it. Everybody can feel it too. And they don't got to necessarily like it, but they'll respect it. People don't necessarily like primetime Deion Sanders, but they respect him. They always did. And they always will. And if you got that thing in you, they'll always respect you too. So share this video, tell me what you think below. Until next time, I'm out. Did you like that video? If you want more of that, it's right here. Boss Life Secrets on Amazon.com. And share this video. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.